You're listening to Old School Movements, and this is a lockdown special. You understand?
Hey guys, episode 4, the quiz is still going on. People are still entering. Nobody's won yet. We're still here. And today we're going to talk about games, man. What games we would have in lockdown. Arcade, home games. It starts here. Only on the Old School Movements. We're going across the whole of the 80s. So we're not saying Atari days this day. We're just talking about the whole of the 80s games that you would have been playing. I had an Amstrad. Chris, you had a Spectrum.
Spectrum, amongst other things, yeah.
And Stacks, what was your main?
I had a Spectrum as well.
Yeah. So we all had that because for a start, in lockdown, these games took 2 hours to load anyway. Yeah. So we could have made a sandwich, watched a couple of cartoons, and come back, and it might have crashed.
It might have crashed.
Start again.
It might have crashed. Exactly. But if it didn't crash, you remember when you used to start to see the screen of the game come up?
Yeah.
You start loading up.
That was the critical moment though, because at that point,
like please don't crash.
Once it finished, if it didn't finish making the picture, then you knew you had to start it again.
It crashed.
Or it'll finish the picture and then it'll go silent. And you're like, you wait for the start game bit to come up. If that don't come up, you gotta start it again.
It was like watching that special round in Catchphrase, wasn't it? Trying to guess what the picture's going to be. That's going to be his head. His head's going to be there.
Yeah, that's going to be, I used to love that bit, but you saw the game come out, and as Stack saying, press start. You press start on the that joypad, that joypad. What were they called?
The Cheetah 2.
The Cheetah, yeah.
Cheetah 2. And the suction pad, isn't it? You just get that going, and then you would play your arcade game. So we've compiled our top 5. There's so many that we could have mentioned, so many games that we could put into this top 5, but
the ones that are going to keep you entertained, though.
Favourites, yeah.
The ones that are going to entertain you on a lockdown.
Yeah, but we're going to stay in these 5. So the first, in no particular order, just like the board games, no particular order. You know, this is a compilation game, and this included sports that you didn't do in the UK. You hardly did these things because you didn't see them on TV.
Like 80s sports.
80s sports, but these sports were happening because I remember when hacky sack did come in and people.
It's like the MTV of sports.
Yeah. MTV of sports. But who would you see? Who would play the hacky sack? I don't know anybody that would kick around a hacky sack.
No.
Occasionally, you see someone in the park, maybe looking like they're kicking around a Satsuma.
Yeah. I never saw that, but this game embodied all of that: the BMX, the catching a frisbee, the skateboarding.
Big.
And that was California Games.
California Games.
California Games. I don't think I even saw it in arcade. I think I just saw it straight to cassette tape, and I said, "This game is amazing," because you're already buzzing off 720. You're already buzzing off Paperboy. You're already buzzing off these.
Exactly, and
so to have it all in one.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I'm sure I remember a bit on a hacky sack. If you kicked it high enough, you could kick a bird or something. You'd hit a bird.
Yeah, I think you kicked a bird out the sky or something. Yeah, that
must have been some kind of kick. But I remember something. But California Games was a game that kept me entertained because you had so many events to play.
Yeah. If you remember the roller skating?
Roller skate. You had to watch
roller skating was probably the weakest one, but it was wicked.
No, I like that, but you had to dodge the banana skins and stuff with the pavement, the cracks in the pavement. You had to dodge and
tripped up. And then you had the skateboard was the half pipe. The little half pipe you used to do.
Yeah, the BMX was like.
And then even the surfing was good.
A surfing one.
Surfing one. Yes. Then you had BMX, hacky sack, and frisbee. Yeah,
mate.
California Games. 1987 that come out, but like you say, I think I do remember it at the arcade, but I think that was after you'd already grown to love it on a console, like on your home computer. I'm sure maybe it came at arcade later, or it weren't popular enough to have in arcade until it blew up a lot on the home computer, I think.
I just vividly remember California Games. The reason why I'm saying I don't remember seeing it arcade because most games when they transferred from arcade to your home, the graphics weren't great. But with California Games, the graphics were alright because I didn't see anything better than it before it. In the arcades, I think, okay, this is how it looks. This is how it is.
Yeah, so you're not disappointed.
Yeah, no, I wasn't disappointed, and I used to love playing California Games, and that's something that I would definitely take in on lockdown in the 80s.
Definitely, yeah. You got all them events, and I think this is the thing. If you got like how you were saying in our last podcast, you got an album that's a compilation. You've got a game now that's got games within games.
Yeah.
So if you're taking Californian games, then surely you must be taking Daley Thompson's Decathlon.
Exactly. That was the UK version of California
Definitely.
Games. but
that was my preferred game was Daley Thompson's over California.
It was good.
Yeah, no, I like them both.
That had more depth to it than Californian Games, definitely.
Yeah, Daley Thompson's Decathlon gave you, it made you an Olympian for an hour because you would do you would do blatantly what you saw at the Olympics. Do you know what I mean?
10 events. You were doing them 10 events.
You'd be doing them events, man.
The worst thing about it was that you definitely needed a spare joystick, or you go out and buy one afterwards, because I must have broke about 2-3 joysticks playing that game.
Yeah.
Wow. But you could also use your keypad. You could use your keypad as well, couldn't you?
QAOP space.
Yeah.
That was always the one, QAOP space. That was the only keys that would actually work on any computer game.
Yeah, mate, I love Decathlon. The long jump, the high jump, the pole vault.
It was good. It was set over the 2 days, wasn't it? You done day one, started off with your 100 meters, your long jump, your shot put, your high jump, finishing with the old 400 meters.
Yeah.
And then day 2, 110 meter hurdles, which I used to like the hurdles in it. It was hard.
Yeah, the hurdles.
And I used to love the pole vault. Pole vault was wicked. Trying to get that pole into the ground to get it up. And you had your discus, your javelin, and then if you made it to the end, the 1500 meters.
Yeah. Daley Thompson's Decathlon.
And I think the game just started again, but you had to just improve your times, didn't you? You were like beating yourself then after you got through it.
Beating yourself? Is that what you done in lockdown? Chris said, "Oh, fuck it! I'm done with this game. I'm gonna go and beat myself."
He froze, man. He froze. Take a screenshot. That's a good one. Where's he gone?
He's gone. That's the end of it. Too much for him. Oh, you're back.
But the thing is, you two froze for me. You two went freeze. So I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you froze, man.
So Chris, you would go and beat yourself after you.
I'll go and try and beat my times, my next times.
Yeah, be more specific.
Everyone who remembers Daley Thompson's Decathlon, they always remember like who produced it, who the software was made by. Do you remember?
Ocean.
Yeah, was it Ocean?
Ocean, yeah. Everyone remembers that. I think because it used to come up big on the screen, didn't it? Ocean. It was like the EA Sports of the day, I suppose, wasn't
it? Yeah. That's right.
Ocean Games. Everyone always remember Ocean Games. 1984 that come out, and that was just after him following his 2 gold medals in the decathlon, 88 and 84, and that released later, 84.
I saw him the other day, in the local Sainsbury's.
Did you?
Really?
Oh, yeah. Maybe we should try and get him on a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, if you bump into him again, man, we want to chat about his
game. But it's social distancing, so I couldn't walk up to him. I should have threw a javelin at him, or discus at him, innit? Throw a can of beans at his head.
Cabbage shot put.
Yeah. Right. Write a message on a cabbage. Hey! Here's our contact details.
If you see him again, ask him, man. Keep an eye out for him. I know he is in Chiswick, so I used to see him round that might not turn him green, but that side of Chiswick.
Yeah, that's why I used to see him.
He's always around there. I always see him in the chip shop buying fish and chips and Lucasade. And I always think, why do you have to buy Lucasade?
You should have that.
You should have a fridge. You know that fridge, that Lucasade fridge.
That should be on
in the
shop. You should have that standard in your house. Like he should still have the glass bottles with the plastic foil around.
Yeah.
That's what they
producing it just for him.
Do they still sell original Lucasade?
Yeah.
The flavour, but it's totally different bottles now, and it's not. Yeah, you only see it in that weird plastic bottle now. That's whatever I see. But I always go for the original. I never buy them other flavours often.
Yeah, the Lucasade Sport was okay for a bit, but then it just ruined your teeth. There's so much sugar in it.
Yeah, but that got you a first fast, though, didn't it?
Yeah,
did indeed.
Got you a first fast. Especially after chicken. If you have chicken, have Lucozade against your fast.
I more associate Thompson than Barnes with Lucasade.
Yeah, so do I. I
You
forget
guys.
Barnes does it until you just said it then.
Yeah.
I forgot all
That's
about
how
it.
you touch your body fluids.
I forgot all about that. It gets to your
Yeah.
fast.
So we got the 2 sports games out of the way that will keep us occupied in lockdown. Now let's get some action in, man. So there's so many fighting games that we could have jumped into, but remember, we're talking about games that we play at home. And the probably ultimate one, if you're playing by yourself or with, like Chris did a lot, or you're playing with someone, or you're playing with someone, it had to be we had to narrow it down to so many different games. But I think Double Dragon was the one, man.
Yes. Was the one,
Everybody knows Double Dragon because you had so many games after it, Streets of Rage and Final Fight, Renegade.
It was like the creator, wasn't it? It launched most of them
Double Dragon, you could wear double denim and you could wear headbands and you could beat up bosses. You could bad up areas. You could say, I own this block now.
You could beat up hoes with chains and stuff, man. It was like, hold on.
I was going to say that, but didn't want to say that because that's not right. I don't want to beat women up with chains.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what the game was on. That's why. Even then, it used to be, hold on, what's this woman beating me with a chain? I don't want to hit her.
But justifiable, they attacked you.
They always
Those women, they tried to stab you.
Yeah,
or even shoot you sometimes.
You were walking down the street.
You just mind your business in your double denim, and some women just in a knee-high boots try to attack you.
Defend yourself, innit?
Defend yourself. But Double Dragon was the ultimate game because we'll get to the arcade in a minute, but it started in the arcade.
Definitely.
Remember those days when you'd be playing a game and someone will come up to you and go, I'm coming in.
Yeah.
And you just join you, innit? And go on the journey. And that was it's like, oh, wicked. You take care of them. I'll pick up the pole and I'll come and join you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it was teamwork. So Double Dragon, if you're at home, if you're playing it by yourself, or if you had someone else to play the game with,
ticks all the boxes.
It ticks all the boxes. Double Dragon, the ultimate fighting game in lockdown. On lockdown.
Good. 100%.
Another game again that we had troubles with amongst us to get the final option, and that was like because you had Green Beret, you had Commando, you had all these shooting games, massive shooting games you had.
All off the back of Rambo 2, you started seeing these first 1 or 2 player shoot 'em ups, Grenade the Bunkers,
all these different games, but one that just came. That was his ultimate again because it was a 2-player. Commando, Green Beret, they were 1-player games, great games. You'd play after each other. How far did you get? I got that far. Okay, I've got to beat that. But this game that we're going to mention now, you could jump in the tanks. You could. It was a 2-player.
Tanks,
You see the bullets coming towards you. You could dodge them. You had headbands. It was a bird's eye view. There's helicopters going over you. Mate, you might even be able to jump in a helicopter.
I think it might. Yeah, it might have
But that was Akari Warriors.
Akari
Warriors guy. And some people probably baffled going, I don't know this game. You do know this game.
You do this game.
You know this game.
You see a screenshot.
Google Akari Warriors now, and you're going to remember that. It's the Tiger Heli. It's the Tiger Heli of ground. Of the ground.
Yeah.
It's 1942 on the ground. You know what I mean? It's 2 of you jumping in tanks, mate. You were like 2 Rambos.
It was good, yeah.
Akari Warriors, man. I loved that game. I had that on my Amstrad.
I remember you had the 2, but you had to shoot and you could lob grenades as well, and you fought with your mates side by side. And in the arcade, not only was it like the first cooperation game with 2 of you played, it also had the 8-way joystick. Most joysticks were up, down, left, and right in them days, and you sort of had to zigzag across the screen. But this actually done the diagonal line, so you can move around the screen a bit better and take care, like how you would in 1942, that sort of style. Akari Warriors is great. Always remember, it's by SNK, came out in 1986. Wicked game, man. I like to play that again.
I love that game. SNK, man. Akari Warriors.
Them last couple of shoot 'em ups, these action games are good, but if you were just stuck on your own, you did have a mate to play with, then there's another game that I used to love as well. I think it was a Sega game, and that's
It was Sega.
Did it come with a Sega?
It came with the Sega when you got the Sega. Was it Master System? Is that the first one?
Yeah,
the first Master System. This game this game was the game. Everybody played it. Even some hip hop artists quoted this game in their raps, and that has to be Shinobi, man.
Shinobi was
now Shinobi was just, oh my god! Because I remember there were games out before it. There was a game called Ninja and Last Ninja, and all these ninja games going on around. But Shinobi just killed it. But Shinobi felt like Rolling Thunder, but a martial arts version. It was that same type of platform. You'd go up the banister, shoot people, duck down, duck behind barrels, just like the Rolling Thunder feel. But you were a ninja. You threw stars. You threw mate.
That was good. I remember that from arcade first. I remember it had the Spider-Man bit, didn't it? But didn't it have a Spider-Man on the wall? And I remember at the arcade, I always wanted to get to the end of that level to see the Spider-Man. So I remember seeing that. And then when I got it on the Sega, I was thinking, I hope it is identical. So I want to see Spider-Man again.
It did have that.
And it had that Spider. It's weird why it had Spider-Man in the end. Like, it was odd. That was another wicked game. It came out in the arcades in '87. Yeah, it was good. The modern day ninja game.
Shinobi was
you were rescuing people or something. Someone had been kidnapped. And you had to rescue someone, and Shinobi was wicked. Do you remember there was a level, like, it was a side-scrolling main game was a side-scrolling, but then you'll do other missions where ninjas would jump towards the screen at you, and you would have to you would just have a hand.
Oh yes.
Stars. As they were jumping. Jumping towards you. I forgot about that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like how Street Fighter had, you can mash up the car for those bonus rounds.
Yeah, this would have that little bonus section.
Yes.
And just keep jumping towards you across
like
boxes.
Yeah.
With the hand.
I remember that. I remember that.
Shinobi, man.
Shinobi was wicked. I remember that.
So then we got three. What's that? Three big. What was that? Three action games we got there, haven't we? 3 action games.
Yeah, 3 action games, 2 sports games.
2 sports compilation games.
Yeah, there's so many games we could have chosen, but we had to nail down our 5. Now, as I was saying earlier about the difference between playing games and like the graphic value between playing games at home and playing games in the arcade, because the arcade is where we wanted to be, really. We loved arcade games. Everybody loved arcade games.
That was your first way of seeing
That was your first way of seeing these games.
You didn't have anything at home.
Being in lockdown, if you had the lockdown gift of having any arcade game in your house in lockdown,
the whole machine,
what would that machine be?
Like, for me, I love arcade games, man. I love arcade. I could spend all day in an arcade, spend all my money in them bloody slots.
Yeah.
But, it's for me, I think the 80s is when arcades started going from the stand-up cabinet to started going into the full motion thing you sit in, whether it be a bike, a car, a plane. So, I loved Afterburner. I loved the sitting in Star Wars, even though it didn't move. I loved for a stand-up one, I love Spy Hunter. It had the steering wheel and it had like a gear stick, but it was a stand-up one. I love Spy Hunter, but for me, it's going to be, like, if you ask someone the ultimate arcade racer, I think most people are going to pick Outrun. I'm going for Outrun, but it's got to be the full motion one when you're sitting
Ferrari,
in the little Ferrari.
Speakers behind you and that.
The speakers behind you. Again, that was one of the first arcade cabinets to have speakers built in, and you could pick a soundtrack. There was a few songs.
There was a soundtrack. That's right.
You could quickly pick a tune before you started off, and that game.
That is amazing. And it was the most expensive game to play. You had to put £1 in or 50p.
Yeah, it was like £1.
Every game was 10p, but this one was. You got to put that in, and that is a really good shout. Have Outrun in your house in lockdown, that will keep you occupied.
September '86, that got launched at the arcade.
I loved
another Sega game. I loved Outrun. It changed the way for driving games, definitely.
Yeah, that is a good shout. But I was saying there were so many arcade games I would love to have. As you were saying, like Afterburner and so on. Also, like Hang On, Super Hang On, Operation Wolf,
Enduro Racer,
Crisis,
Operation Wolf. I would still have an Operation Wolf now. There were
so many, but for me, the ultimate one, Chris, you know this one. When I first saw this game, I thought, this is amazing. There's no game like this. You can sit on a seat. You can move side to side. You could move like you was in the Millennium Falcon shooting at the back.
It had that feel,
mate. And even when the dragon come towards you, I got scared of this dragon. I had to get rid of him. And this is Space Harrier, man. Space Harrier, again made by Sega. As soon as you put the coin in, it went, "Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready!" And as soon as you heard that, You had to
With the
put on
defenders
your backpack, and I thought I was flying. I thought I was gliding. And
the character was like a kid, wasn't he? He was like just a normal kid. It looked like.
Yeah.
You could imagine you doing that.
Or it looked like the same guy that drove the Ferrari in Outrun.
In Outrun, yeah, they were very similar, and they must have got launched around the same time.
Yeah.
Mate, Sega
When they hit the arcades.
And I didn't mind sitting down on Outrun and moving side to side and fighting that. Remember the dragon that comes towards you?
Yeah. Like, it looked like a Chinese dragon almost.
Yeah, and you had like these big rock faces that would come.
Yeah, the rock face.
Oh, mate. Space Harrier. It was that or Operation Wolf.
Yeah, I had Operation Wolf down as well. I loved that game. I forgot about Space Harrier. Yeah, that was another game that, when that came out on the Master System, it was like, I'm playing Space Harrier at home. You couldn't believe it. Like, it was, that close to playing it from the arcade.
Yeah.
Space Harrier was a wicked game. Wicked game. That's 5 games.
So if I'm choosing an 80s arcade game, I would have to be between Outrun and Paperboy and Spy Hunter. That's a tough one.
Not Super Hang-On.
Damn, Super Hang-On. I forgot about that.
Just sitting on that Super Hang-On.
I used to love
sitting
Super
on a
Hang-On,
real
man.
bike. Once you took your feet off the floor, innit, and then started doing a different level of entertainment.
I remember playing Space Harrier when we went away to Norfolk, Chris.
Yeah.
When we were young, around Easter time, and there was this arcade stacks that had everything in it. Had that penny game you could play.
Yeah.
2p penny game, that thing.
Yeah. Air hockey.
Had all air hockey, all that. But we saw this game. You know the arcade soundtrack. There's different games all going up at the same time.
But there's one that stands out.
There's one that stands out.
Get ready.
Welcome to the fancy zone. Get ready. And I'm like, what the hell is that? That was Space Harrier. That was Space Harrier, man. I love that, mate. And that brings. And when I think of Operation Wolf, Outrun, Super Hang-On, and Space Harrier, it reminds me of the time I went to Norfolk and had this arcade. The stacks. I remember Chris's mum giving us like £2 each in like coins and saying, look,
do what you like.
Go to the arcade and do your thing. And we would but we choose the same games. Yeah. I'm playing Outrun. I'm playing Super Hang-On. I'm playing Space Harrier. I'm playing Operation Wolf. I love that. Love that, man.
I want to go back to one of them arcades. Once this lockdown's over, we got to go find that arcade.
I love that. I used to love those games, especially Super Hang-On. I love that.
Love to have one in my house.
It's
definitely.
I think
it is tough.
I think I'm gonna go with Spy Hunter.
That is a
good
game.
I'll tell you why.
The gameplay and that's good.
It's got good gameplay. 1 minute you're in a car, then you have to switch to the boat.
It is big. It is big.
I love that game.
And I like the variation. So
James
Spy
Bond.
Hunter.
But let me throw something in the mix. Let me just try and mash things up for both of you and for myself.
What's he thought of?
Right. Okay, we love Outrun. Yeah, Chris says that. He loves Spy Hunter. Yeah, I love Space Harrier. But this game does all those kind of things on the sly. You sit in a car, you chase people, you mash them up, you arrest them. Chase HQ.
Chase HQ.
Game.
Oh,
Chase HQ was good as well. The
Sitting down, Chase HQ.
It was like
mashing
a
these
black police car, a dark blue police car. Yeah,
catching up with these people.
That was good.
Mate.
Chase HQ was wicked, actually. Yeah, that was good.
Right, you know.
That was good.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I forgot about Chase HQ.
Mate, mashing these people up, catching these people, you know.
That was good.
Chase HQ was a big game.
That was a wicked game. And like you say, it did sort of have little aspects of all of them other games.
Yeah. Had aspects of all them games. You know, so many games are flooding in my head now, man. I don't know what to choose. But I said Space Harrier, so I'll stick with Space Harrier.
Yeah.
I was
I'm still going Outrun because I love a Ferrari.
Now, you know what? I'm switching. I'm going Chase HQ. I'm switching.
It deserves to be in there.
Yeah, definitely.
It deserves to be in there, man. Yeah. All right. Well, that was our games. We could have mentioned so many other arcade games, so many other games in our house. But look, we had to narrow it down to the final 5. Now it's that time. Lads, you ready? It's that time. It's time to lockdown quiz! So we got another contestant. We got Adrian from Battersea, right?
Yay!
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm all good, man. I'm living the lockdown life, you know, living lockdown Lovo and them things.
As we all are, brother.
Yeah.
So our podcast today was about arcade games and games that we would take into isolation with us in the 80s. Got to be just purely 80s arcade games. If you could take any arcade machine into your house to have on lockdown, what would you take with you?
The 80s, probably Afterburner.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I've played many hours.
The one you sit in it.
It's sitting down Afterburner.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the one I'd take.
Yeah, that's what you take. You take Afterburner in you with the in the 80s on lockdown.
Definitely.
With some motion action.
And you're a Commodore 64 man, yeah?
I spent, the loading issues, but we didn't know, innit? Like, Commodore 64 was what I wanted. I never had it myself. My mum couldn't afford it, but I went to my best friend's house and he had everything, Ataris, every machine he had. But the Commodore 64, we had so much fun on that.
Yeah. Wicked, man. Wicked. You've got a podcast, ain't you?
Yeah, well, I've done my first podcast last week. Doing another one tomorrow called Jesus Wasn't White. Yeah. And just topics, and I'm being inspired by you, Darren.
What sort of topics you doing?
Just all kinds of topics. Nothing, it's like my friend said to me, it's just there's an element of that in everything, isn't there?
Yeah, I suppose.
You know what I mean? But it's just that kind of thing about everything and nothing, really.
Just rants.
Yeah, a bit of that. It's different. It's a bit, instead of ranting on Facebook,
Yeah. Where can we hear it?
It's on you. The first one's on YouTube. If you just type in Jesus Wasn't White, you'll see it come up. I've got the halo above my head, and my friend Cal, who is white, he's got the devil horns. And he was so up for it, and it was just
Wicked.
It's good. It's love, man. It's love. He's a good guy.
All right. Nice.
Sounds good.
So, Adrian, I'm going to tell you the rules of the game, of the lockdown quiz.
Okay.
And they're pretty simple. It's just you've got to answer as much questions within 60 seconds. Yeah?
Wow.
I'll take your first answer only.
Oh.
If you don't know the answer, say pass, yeah?
Pass, yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 1, go.
What do Mogwais turn into if you feed them after midnight?
Gremlins.
What Japanese gaming company released titles such as Outrun and Afterburner?
Takamino.
Complete the title of the cartoon, Jamie and the Magic
Torch.
What is fast food store KFC known as?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
What UK company released ice cream lollies such as Funny Feet and Big Feasts?
Pass.
Which UK rock band provided the soundtrack music for the movie Highlander and Flash Gordon?
Queen.
Which boxer was known as the Dark Destroyer?
Pass.
Name the two characters in action flick Lethal Weapon.
Murdoch and Riggs.
What rodent had a chart hit with Rat Rapid?
Roland Rat.
All right.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I know the Funny Feet one because I remember it. And the Japanese company, I remember seeing it, but yeah.
Okay.
And the Dark Destroyer, I know who that is, but that's
okay. I'll tell you, it's all be revealed in a minute, Adrian. So,
okay.
You played the game. You're okay. You got a score of 6 out of 9. You got 6 out of 9, mate. 6 is not bad, but it puts you at the bottom of the list of the rankings.
Well, so what are we talking about then? That's terrible then.
Which is going to tell you what ones you got wrong, Adrian.
You got 3 wrong. Out of the 9, you got 3 wrong. Question number 2 was the Japanese gaming company released Outrun and Afterburner. It was Sega.
Oh, jeez.
I thought it was Ocean. I was going to say it was Ocean.
Quite easy one. I say Outrun come out in September '86.
Embarrassing, man. I should have got that.
Classic arcade game. Number 5, the Funny Feet, the one you were saying. UK company released ice creams. It was Walls.
Of course, it was
ice
Walls.
cream. Now known for Cornettos, Magnums, and Viennettas.
Yeah, just one Cornetto.
Which boxer was known as the Dark Destroyer? It was
Marvel.
Nigel Benn.
Nigel Benn, yeah. They were easy ones, really, man.
Yeah,
You know he was going to make a comeback last year at the age of 50.
Yeah, I heard.
I remember.
Yeah.
God, I don't know.
Yeah, the
about
shoulder
that.
injury and that put paid to that. But yeah, that's it,
Too
mate.
much
6
Rocky.
out of 9.
Yeah, bottom of the group. Terrible. This is the last time I
Come on,
ever
man, you give
come
it a
on
go.
your show. Yeah. Don't try and make me feel better.
I know you. Hey, look. It's the taking part that counts, Adrian.
All right, man.
You're a wonderful contestant. You're a wonderful contestant. Goodbye now.
Bless you,
Bye.
man. Love, guys.
Peace, brother.
Thanks for
Peace.
coming on,
Take care. Bye.
Hey, so Adrian got 6. Well, look, as I said to him, it's the taking part that counts on the lockdown quiz. Thanks, guys, for listening, man. The support that you guys have been giving us has been incredible this week. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Guys, we'll be back with another contestant with the lockdown quiz to see if you know your 80s trivia. Peace.
Those were the days I remember.